So I'd like to talk about what I would like to see as new features in the Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch game if they decide to make an Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch game. First and foremost, I want to explain that I played Animal Crossing Population Growing, I played Animal Crossing Wild World, City Folk, and currently New Leaf, as you've seen on my Let's Plays. Check out my other videos. So what kind of things would I like to see? Well, I'm basing this off of what I know Nintendo is likely to do. I'm also basing this off of what, I've seen them do in the games and what kinds of advancements they made so far. New Leaf is the first game to use a new game generator. All previous games were made off the same system, more or less, so they are all kind of the same. So now that they're using something new, that's why, we can customize our characters to the point that we can. And the game has a kind of slightly different look. So, the first thing I would like to talk about is character customization. We've gone a long way from this. Before, all we could customize were our shirt and our hat. But then we were able to customize our hairstyle. We could take a hat off. Then we can make, and we've always been able to make custom clothes, but we can really make the clothing long sleeve, short sleeve, tank top. It doesn't matter. We can do a lot with it. But I was thinking, like, okay, so for a baseball cap, I would like to be able to say if I want the position, if I want the bill forward, up a little bit, backwards. I don't think it'd be too hard to render that. But from there, I think scarves would be a nice touch. I mean, we see that some of the sheeps, they wear scarves. So that'd be a good thing. Gloves, because in the winter, we have to, our character will shiver if we're wearing short sleeves or shorts, but they never wear gloves. So I think that too would be a good touch. But then, really, as an accessory piece, lapel pins. I think a lapel pin is well overdue, especially with all of the different, contests that they have. The bug catching contest, fishing, which are regulars. And then even if you participate in, like, a hide-and-seek game, I think if you were the winner at hide-and-seek, like if a villager had to find you for a change, getting the first place ribbon as a lapel pin that you could wear for a while, that might be a nice touch. Next would be indoor and outdoor furniture. We do have some furniture that is both it's an indoor furniture, like all the furniture is, but it seems like it'd be more suited for the outdoor, like the picnic table. Why can't we put that outside? I think they could put it outside and have it, like, if you want it in your house, you could put it in your house, but also have it outside. Camping items, put them outside. Even put up camping tents, like if you yourself could go camping and just camp out, instead of returning to your home to save. Or, well, you don't really need to do that anymore, but you get the idea. Then next, setting up stores. So, like, in Happy Home Designer, I've seen that, like, you can make buildings and have them be however you want, and villagers will make requests to, like, design their homes for them. Well, I think that should be as a mainstream thing. I think because if you are the mayor, or at least if you're trying to help run a town, however they decide to do it, why not set up restaurants? Because this way the villagers would have places to go, or even like a bakery, or, even if through Wi-Fi, a trade shop. It would give the villagers in your town little jobs, even a supermarket. I don't think this should interfere too much with any quests that you would have to do for the villagers, like, oh, Tangy left something at my house. Could you go and give this back to her? Because it doesn't seem like keeping things in our pockets are such a big deal. But also, I do think that, they could just say, hey, but she works until 5 o'clock today, so could you give it back to her then? Or something like that. I think those things would be neat. Though I wouldn't want to interfere with being able to interact with the animals, but if they're in some place like Brewster's, or even in like on a bench or whatever, you can't do the fetch quest anyway. So I don't see how this would really impede or change that, because we already have times when the animals, are inaccessible. Next, because we do have Lottie from Happy Home Designer, and she does unlock within, Welcome Amiibo, the ability to do some limited Happy Home Designer stuff. I think she should help more from, the standpoint of you're the mayor, and then, like, when a villager moves in, you help them find the real estate of their choice. So that gives you some control over where they move in, but as a limitation to that, because they don't make it, so that you have total control, an animal might say, well, I'm very civic minded. I'd like to be close to the town hall. Okay, so you have to put their house within so many squares of the town hall. Or I want to live near the beach, or at least close to the water. This is a villager that you would have to put like closer to the coastline, or at least near the river. And there'd be other things too. Like, I like to travel a lot, so please put me near the train station or bus stop, or even captain's dock, however they want it. Or I don't know how to swim, so I'm a little afraid of water. Nowhere near water. Like, things like that would, you still have control, but you can't fully dictate where they go. I think that's a reasonable limitation that Animal Crossing likes to have for the player. And then, like, public works projects, like, say you're the mayor, and one of the public works projects is, oh, well, our town generator is old, and it supplies enough power for the buildings, but there's not much else we could do with it. So then you get it repaired as a public works project. And then when that happens, Isabelle says, oh, because of that, and our generator is so strong now, you can build a lighthouse. You could put up the street lamps that require electricity. You can put up, the light up public works projects, like public works projects that unlock other ones. Even solar panels, though I do think some street lamps having solar panels on them could be something to help increase the electricity, and maybe that would unlock further, because it's more power for the grid, to do the lighthouse. But just building on things rather than waiting for a villager to request it. Though I don't want to do away with that system altogether, because the villagers live there, so of course you'd want them to have some say in it. Now, hold on. I had to move myself just a little bit because I can't see my list of things that I wrote down that I wanted to talk about. So, like, things like that, restoring things, or even if there was a bridge, like a half dock, and then Isabelle goes, oh, that used to be a bridge, but it broke, so now people just fish off there. It sure would be nice if we could fix it. Things like that, public works projects that, build up to other bigger things. Now, going to the fact that you're the mayor, it'd be cool if you can create your own town events. Like, if you wanted to have, say a gardening thing. This could also be a contest that, for a lapel pin. And I think that'd be a cool event in and of itself. Like, why don't we have gardening contests where, you get graded on having a garden in specific garden areas. Like, you would have a garden plot, let's just say. But if you're the mayor, create events. So these events could be like fundraisers, so that when you need to repair something, or if there's something that you need to do that is just too expensive, even though we can have billions in our bank accounts, it's just too expensive, you can have the villagers come to these events. You can decide when the event is held. You could say from 6A to 6P, or even say it's being held as a 24-hour event. Villagers could come, and then when you go to the event as the mayor and interact and play the mini games with the villagers, it adds to their citizen satisfaction. This equates to the amount of funding that you get. So if you can get, or even an approval rating as mayor, you could theoretically get the animals to pay off and fund it, because their happiness would equate to the funds, because the happier they are, the more money they'd want to pay. That would equate to them, actually building something, paying for something in the town without actually having you to do a whole lot of work. Or you could just simply have, potlucks, and then there'd be a little table set up with different pots, with like crock pots with different, stews and stuff inside. Just little fun things, and they could just be cosmetic, or they could actually have something attached to it. These are things I'd like to see, of course, and every town would have their own different holidays. There would be an upper limit to how many holidays you could schedule, if per year or per month, but even still, I think that would be a great feature to add. Then you could also request for villagers. You could say to Isabelle, hey, I want more grumpy villagers. I can't actually request a particular villager to live there, but saying, hey, I want, I'm looking for villagers with this type of personality, because I think it would fit the town. So, for example, my favorite character is Cyrano, so I would say, hey, could you invite more grumpy, cranky type characters to come and live in my town? That would improve my chances of seeing this happy little anteater. Happy. And he would come to my town. That would be one thing that I would like to see. So, and even your town theme could have an effect on all these things. Going back to the town theme, like if you said you wanted a harmonious town, well, the restaurants available could be, Asian-styled restaurants, a sushi restaurant, which is mostly Japanese, things like that. Even the food markets could, have an effect on that. But that's getting into higher functions, and it becomes more like The Sims, and I think they like to keep it simple and basic. But all the things I listed, I think are things that would really improve the game and make it a little more fun and make it so our towns are more personal to us. As a final feature, for Leaf Store, a lot of us put patterns down on the ground to make it look like we have stone walkways. Well, I think if we could actually buy stones from him and have it like a limited amount per day, because you'd only be able to carry so many stones at once, like if you bought them in bundles, that is, and, again, per day. If we could actually make stone paths, this way we don't have things on the ground, and whether or not patterns count towards, our perfect town score, I think putting down these stone paths, and this way having these stone paths as being things that villagers can't put their houses on because it's a structure, like a public works project, I think that would make it easier to create definite paths around your town, and you wouldn't have to worry too much about a villager destroying your hard-made paths. It might also help to reduce, anyone visiting and then trampling on flowers. They can just follow your paths. The bricks can come in different fashions and different forms, and you could even travel to other towns and buy them if you did so desire, though that would count towards that town's limit for the day. Like Leaf only gets, say, 25 bricks per day, and then when you upgrade his flower shop, maybe it goes up to 50. Who knows? But I think that'd be a more than welcome feature as well, because then it's harder for visitors to ruin your paths by accidentally kicking or picking up a pattern, and you can't put it back down during their visit. All in all, I think Animal Crossing is fine the way it is, and I do like the improvements that they've made over the years. But these are all things that I, as a longtime Animal Crossing player, would like to see. Tell me what features you might like to see in the comment section below. Also, in the description box, hit the links to follow me on social media, and make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Also, check out the rest of my channel and do subscribe, and like this video. I think I said that? Like this video, you should. Until next time, later taters.